Aloha. This is crazy, right? This is how Jeep Week in Daytona is. I mean, crazy wind today. So we'll see if you hear anything what I'm saying. So let's try to see a little less wind. This is heavy traffic. Maybe. Hey, I'm all wrapped up here today because it was actually raining heavily just a little while ago, and as you see, it's a pretty dark cloud here and it's raining even more here. So yeah, and when there is rain and sun, there is a rainbow. I didn't see one, but obviously it was somewhere. And today I was actually promising to look into a little bit the topic of safety, as we started a little bit that yesterday. And that's a very important thing for the Divine Feminine, because Divine Feminine can't fully receive or create when it's not feeling safe. So whether it's like physical circumstances or it's the well-being of just the body, whatever the case is. And if you as a woman, or also as a man, but even more so as a woman, have been physically abused or misabused, then your I would say it's almost like a safety program. It may have an error in it, and until you are really looking deeper into it and also opening it up to heal, see, and really understand what was going on and why, until you do that, nothing can really fully get to that next level, because it needs to reset itself so that you can fully start to receive without all these extra layers of protection. I remember when I started to do Tantra many years ago, we had actually one teacher who was teaching us how to layer by layer take these different protective mechanisms down. And I worked with him several years, and I did such a good job that later one of my Tantra partners was saying, "Wow, Crystal, it's so cool to hang out with you or do a Tantra massage or practice, because when I meet with you there is no walls or 10 layers of passwords, firewall emotionally to get through to you." So that was good to know that the work I was doing, both physically, sexually, emotionally, and body, mind, spirit, was actually really working. So that's one of the things you can look into if you don't know how to do it. It's definitely good to have a guide, a coach, someone who could help you. And the best coaches about those topics are actually those who have also experienced it themselves, because then they know how it was to experience it, and they also know how to get it healed and reset. So that's really cool. So there's lots of cool action going on here today. So, and this safety thing is more important than we maybe would even like give it credit. I would recommend each woman to actually do a self-defense class. I just recently did one for like a whole week, but in the future I want to actually I see like a self-defense teacher who is woman my age and can teach it as from woman to woman. So because I think men, and especially at certain age, they don't realize, our bodies are different, our needs are different. So I'm not judging anyone, but just that was my experience. So, and after just 1 week doing that self-defense class, so I felt so much more confident and so much more in my body. And what happens when you actually have that negative experience, many women actually can check out from their bodies, if not all the time, so most of the time. And that's like a very, very bad disservice for you and your co-creation, because you need to be in your body to fully experience and co-create with it. So it's really good to take it like seriously and like see like what are the possibilities to reset it. So I know several stories where people also have had negative experiences, whether it's like sexual abuse or physical abuse or emotional or verbal abuse. I've had so much verbal abuse in my life that at one point I was working for one person whose like everyday language was the verbal abuse. I was so used to it that I didn't even think it was like not normal until someone pointed me out, like, Crystal, the way he's talking to you is not like normal. I said, oh, okay. So many times that's what may happen, because you just don't know, because you're just so used to it, right? And one of the things I really enjoyed about this self-defense class which I was doing, so many years ago I had a boyfriend from Africa, and I've met so many amazing people from Africa, and I'm not definitely generalizing, but he was a refugee in Norway, and he was a very, very crazy, jealous person, and whatever I did, it didn't matter. So he was always, something was wrong. And one of these days I came home and he pushed me down on the kitchen floor and started to strangle me. Like, no kidding, like seriously. And I was just thinking in my head, like, oh my God, like you are killing a au pair from the Baltic states, and like, I mean, you will be kicked out from this country in no time, And I was just kind of jokingly thinking about it. So that's like amazing to think about my mind, how it's like kind of working in a situation like that. But when it really kicked in, like, Crystal, you have to like move, you have to like take care of you, because this guy is no kidding, like he can really kill you, As his hands were over my, neck, and I had like a jacket, and he started to like kind of twist my zipper and really kind of push down here. I could hardly like breathe. My survival instinct kind of kicked in, and I kicked him, down below, where, and it really hurt him. So I managed to kind of struggle myself free. He lived on the 5th floor. I ran down the stairs and then I had my bicycle in a bicycle shed. So I managed to get the bicycle, and the apartment building was on top of the hill. So lucky because of that, I got so much speed that he couldn't like catch me while like running after me. And it was really crazy. Like he came down with the elevator and he was chasing me. And I was afraid for my life. I was like, oh my God, you know. So after this, I was working as an au pair in a family in the high end of Oslo. And so I went there to stay overnight there. And I didn't even think like this was something very special or I should report it or whatever. So I met my girlfriend and she saw the marks on my neck and was like, what's going on? And I told her about the situation and she's like, oh my God, you have to like go and report it. And I'm like, really? Okay, so what good does that do? It's like, if nothing else, you know, it's a warning, and then other women would not end up in a situation like that. You have a responsibility to do that just for you, you know. So that's what I did. So I reported. As I was reporting in the police, and they did like, you know, photos of my, you know, evidence and so on. So they were asking me what I would like him to be punished with, or like what, like do I want like money, you know, fine or anything. I said I don't care about the money, but like is there any way you guys could like, you know, I don't know, warning or something so that he learns the lesson and is not going to do that to any other woman. So I didn't follow up. I just really struggled to get all my stuff from his place through my connections and friends. And when that was done, I was like, oh my God. So it took me some time to recover and also regain trust with black men. And that was really hard because until that point I've had only like positive experiences. So so 1 year later, this guy, I still I was already, I think, if I remember correct, I already had moved from Norway at that time. And he called. I was in Norway at that time, and I had my Norwegian number still kind of turned on. And he called and reached me and said, thank you for doing what you did, like reporting me, because then I lost my job and I actually started my own business and it's going really good. So what happened was he was actually working as a kindergarten assistant, or yeah. And of course, when you have physical violence reported, then he lost the job like the next day. So, and then that really inspired him to take action and get his, you know, business going. So I'm glad that happened, but I mean, at what price, right? So later, I had an experience where I had a beautiful, I had an exchange year in beautiful South Africa in Cape Town, and over there I got to know a whole bunch of Nigerian students. And they were so kind, they actually invited me to become a member of their student club. And I think they had quite many members. They have had even like, I don't even remember the numbers, but I was the only white person and a white girl in the crowd. So, and I was doing like projects with them, and oh my God, like these people, I got like sick one time. They were all like taking care of me, asking if I need anything, if they need to get me anything. It totally turned my experience, you know, upside down in a positive way. And I started to regain my trust and not connect it like, okay, one person from that country did that and now everyone is bad. So, and I'm so glad and so grateful for that experience, because I know so many amazing people from that continent. So that was really important. So now what you can do to start to heal your wounds is there are so many techniques you can do, but the main thing is to actually sit down with your divine feminine and actually really talk to her and ask like, so what happened, and what's going on. I'll share now a very short tool with you. Maybe later I'll also record like a separate meditation which really helped me. So as a 6-year-old, I was abused sexually by one of my family members, and if any woman has experienced that will really wound the woman for the rest of their lives, in general, about safety, about men, and so on. So after this happened, of course, it took me just, I think I was like 18 when I started to go into like psychodrama groups and so on. So since 18 till this day, I'm still kind of, breaking through these different layers. It's been like quite a journey. So one of the processes I did was, in my meditation, I met with that family member and I said, I understand you didn't understand what you were fully doing, and I understand you were not fully conscious and fully aware, because many times these people are really sick, and I understand we may have had some karmic relation or agreement. You came here to help me to have that experience so that I would have that pain, go through it, and then learn how to release it, how to heal it, how to reset it, and also how to teach other women to start to set boundaries from very early on, so that it wouldn't happen to them. So thank you for that gift, and I'm sorry we had that experience, and also I understand you didn't understand what was going on, and that's that. And you don't even need to forgive. It's just understanding they were sick. You had like some kind of role to play in it, whether it's spiritual or like whatever way. And that's that. And then just doing that starts to actually reverse the whole process and bring you to the next layer and level. So try that out. That can be very hard. Many times you can't really do it all by yourself. You may need like guidance, and that's maybe why I'm gonna record that separate meditation. So I could be your guide, like through that guided meditation. So, and also going to that deeper layer understanding, when I started to work with what is my mission in life. So when I went really, really deep, it's like going to the depth of the most painful experiences in my life. It always led me back to that 6-year-old who was sexually abused. And what's really crazy about like that young of experience, you have no idea about sexuality usually. You have no idea that you can actually say no. And then when it's a family member, that's a huge trust issue, because now you have been, put into a situation you don't know who to trust anymore. And when you have trust issues, so maybe that's our next video, So then everything, you can't create, because you have to trust. You have to trust yourself, you have to trust the universe, you have to trust other people, you have to trust men. If you want to become very rich and abundant, you have to trust men, because money and trust go hand in hand. And that's also another connection many people don't understand fully. So that's really important. So I started to go through that layer and level as well. So So that was very, very deep, and I understood that the biggest pain was that, as a 6-year-old, I didn't feel that I was conscious enough to say no. So my boundary setting wasn't there yet because I didn't know how to do it. So if someone would have told me that, if someone wants to touch your body, you have a right to say no and run away or, do something drastic. And I have this crazy idea, which in the future I may even, get going. How can I it should start actually with families and then take it to the next level with beautiful, even like kindergarten, kids. I know it would probably need lots of regulations and stuff, but to go through. But, if I would have known about that, and someone would have told me that if someone wants to touch your body, like in these areas, you have a right to say no. And I believe I was conscious enough, I would, and the children nowadays are like super, super conscious, I could have said no or ran away or, done something. And the damage wouldn't have been that big. So my damage was even deeper than maybe regular because I also got the sexual disease from that encounter. So luckily my grandmother figured this out, and she was the one who took us to the doctor, who got us all healed and clean like in no time. And so there was another family member also involved in this situation. So all of that happened, and now I also got a huge shame on me because I was in a small town. My grandmother took us to the women's doctor, and then the gossip went around. So now you can imagine how is that to grow up in a small town, and you walk down, on the street, and then you feel like everyone knows, like your deepest, secret. And create from that energy. No, it's not happening. So there are lots of layers, and so when I got to that layer, what my spirit was saying was like, Crystal, this is one of your pains. One of the things you can teach women is how to set boundaries, and through that, so that's why also, I've talked about this also here. Through that, you can also start to attract your beautiful new partner who is meant for you. So, and it is one of the prerequisites for your safety. And if you don't know how to do it, then maybe I even do like a special masterclass about that in the future. So, okay, so it's crazy wind. I hope you could hear any or some of what I've been saying here. And if not, then I will re-record it, and I hope you really enjoyed this. And very important topics to talk about. And if you know anyone who would get inspiration, support, and would feel safe and heard just watching this video, share this video with them and guide them in my direction. So over the years, I've done now so many different classes and courses and programs and coaching. I would call myself a total expert on healing sexual abuse and all connected to that. And because I'm working with the inner family archetypes, that's where the main key lies. Once you start to heal them and reset them, everything turns around in no time. And it's possible to do it in 90 days. And I will also link my 90-day relationship transformation program down below. For those who are in a relationship, want to reset it. For those who are in a bad relationship, want to set more boundaries and figure out who they are and what they desire. For those who have no relationship and would like to attract, all of those conditions can be worked on during those 90 days. And I still have 2 spots available till the end of April for my special offer. I'll also link that here below this video, so you can look at that. So, or maybe I'll do even a separate post with that, because I don't think I did that in this group here yet. So this will be amazing, transformative journey, and you will have a guide who will be there with you and all the way through, working with your, targets or goals, what you have. So it would be such an honor. So thank you so much, and enjoy your Saturday. And today is a very special day. Happened so that something what I planned didn't happen, and I actually organized myself an extra free day. So I'm gonna do a beautiful inner family day, playing with my inner child, inner woman, inner man, and just following their guidance and having fun. So all the best. See you soon. Bye.